Holy heck. I'm back. I'm back online. Holy shit. I fucking did it. Woohoo! Suck it, you mother. Damn. Okay, so I'm sure you'll have a ton of questions about what is going on right now, but unfortunately I can't talk about it. Trust me, I've tried already, and it won't post without me encoding it first. You want the full story, I'll have a link to my Furfurity account journal where I go over everything. What do you mean that was posted months ago? How long have I been out? Damn it. I was hoping that getting the server connected and rebooted would at least give me access... give me an access point from there to get out of here. But without Dexter, I don't think that's going to work. And these asswipes seem to be hiding him somewhere. You sons of bitches! See what I mean about not being able to talk about it? So with me being stuck in here, I guess I might as well make the most of it and go over my next video topic in this early 2000s journey I wanted to take. That being Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door. So, unlike the Acceleracers review, history this time around isn't going to include the real-life history of the game's development or notes about its release. It's a Nintendo property made by a Nintendo subsidiary, made as a sequel to a spin-off title that was made to replace the JRPG hole in the market after the falling out they had with the Square's dev team post-release of Mario RPG. So, first off, Paper Mario on the N64. I never played it. My introduction to it was at a friend's place when he played it on the Wii's Virtual Console. I later learned a lot more about it later in life thanks to people like Strider X77, but to this day I still have yet to properly sit down and play it, mainly because the cartridges are so damn expensive and I'm not the kind of guy who's going to go after an emulator unless I absolutely have to. Having said that, I am grateful to it, because without it we wouldn't have TTYD. Which, yes, is the shorthand for the game, because it's a massive title. Again, literally, Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door. You don't want to hear me saying that over and over and over again. So TTYD is a good shorthand. I first got my hands on this game at a family member's house. I owned my GameCube back then, of course, but the only games I had for it at the time was Sunshine, a copy of a Spyro game that didn't work, and I can't remember which game. It was one of the weird ones that got released after the original 3. The original Lego Star Wars, Mario Party 7, and Mario Kart Double Dash. This family member had Super Smash Bros. Melee, Star Fox Adventures, Luigi's Mansion, and Paper Mario TTYD. While I never picked up Melee later on down the road, seriously, why the heck is that so hard and hard to find? The other 3 titles were burned into the back of my head. Not because I was good at any of them at the time, I was actually piss poor at all of them. Only because I was a gamer and I wanted to get back to them. So a few years down the line, after the Wii is good and released, and I just moved again, me and my brother learned about this place called Pink Gorilla in our area. We had no idea what it was, but it had a Star Fox 64 fiberglass standee character out front, so we went in to check it out. Lo and behold, it was a used game store, and that is where we dedicated our time to finding games we have yet to beat and wanted to beat. I am fine saying all this because the location for this place is unfortunately gone. I think they only have one site they operate out of now, if they are still around. Point is, this place existed. I got a lot of cool games there. TTYD was one of them, and the name of this place is going to pop up a lot in future reviews. So I got the game, popped it into my cube, to which it still ran flawlessly, to my knowledge at the time anyway, and I kept playing. And playing. And then I got stuck. Take a day or two away from the game, and then kept on playing, getting stuck again, starting a new save, playing up to the point I got stuck, finally beat that part, kept on playing, get stuck again, and I did this for 5 years. It took me 5 years to see and beat the final boss. And I kept coming back to this game because of how much I enjoyed it. And right after I finally did it, I started a new file saying, let's do it faster. These days when I pop my copy in, I'm running the game glitchless, non-single segment, and I beat it in about 3 days, but I still love everything about it. I loved it when I first played it. I loved it when I first beat it. I loved it on my second time around, the third and the fourth, fifth, sixth runs. Soon I stopped counting because I just played it so much. I sat down and watched episodes of the Game Grumps playthrough as they came out. Loved that. I sat through all 12 plus hours of stream footage by Games Repainted for their version of the game. Loved that too. I loved my playthrough after the fact and the one after that. To sum up, I love this game. And because of that, I don't care about my video's runtime. I'm going to say what I'm going to say about this game. In part for myself, in part for those who've yet to play it, and in part for Nintendo just to remake it and put it on the damn Switch already. Okay, if I was going to give a 30-second elevator pitch to a Nintendo executive for my reason to remake Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, it would start off with the fact that you wouldn't have to change anything graphically speaking. This game's textures and assets still hold up today. They are wonderfully rendered, and props goes to the art team for this game for hitting it out of the ballpark. Even though I still have to play in 9:4 on my GameCube, this game just makes me forget about the black bars on the side of the screen. There's just some sort of charm that is hard to describe to others when you're playing, as it falls into the paper aesthetic really well without falling on its face like later titles do when they lean too heavily into it. Looking at you, Sticker Star! Anyway, the visual charm is only half of it. The dialogue is the other side of it, and when I was little, I enjoyed the heck out of the puns, the wit, and the overall story that was being told, plus the addition of a new party member and face in each world, giving a game a huge amount of visual and vocal variety, even in the cutscenes. And even now, Dan and Aaron's voices run through my head of voicing over the characters. I'm not sure how I feel about that, honestly, but even so, there's still a lot that is just this game's presentation alone. Back to that elevator pitch really quick. If I was asked why TTYD over 64, I would say because out of the two, it has the better presentation and story. I know, segues. But hey, we gotta get here somehow, right? So I promise this time I'm gonna do more of a review of the story than summing it up, or at least I'm gonna try to. The premise this time is that Mario gets a letter from Peach as normal. She tells him that she's got some magic map from a town dealer that holds the secret to a great treasure under the town of Rogueport, which is a neighboring nation in the world of Mario, I guess? Right up there with Sarasa Land and Yoshi Island. Anyway, she asks Mario to come and help her out, you know, as you do. Mario goes out on a boat to this place he has never been to before, you know, as you do, because the power of bone is stronger than any man's will, as you do. Mario gets into a fight with a weird fat guy in goggles to save a Goomba chick. We get to learn some gameplay basics, win the fight, fat guy calls in an army, you know, like a dictator. Mario and our new female Goomba friend, creatively named Goombella, escape. We meet up with Toadsworth and learn Peach has been kidnapped and Mario has to go save her. Again. You go to meet an old Goomba that Goombella was a student under, getting mugged of half of your money, politely tracking down the thief and asking for your money back, and totally not being stabbed for it. Yeah, like that works. Finally meet the old guy who's named Professor Frankly, learn about the legend of the Thousand Year Door, a massive and very old door that needs 7 crystal stars, the game's MacGuffin, to open it. Supposedly, it protects an ancient treasure. We also learn about the magic map that Peach gave us, and how holding it to the door will reveal the location of the stars. So you go through 2 different tutorials, and then bam, you're finally off to find your first crystal star after another tutorial. Yeah, the prologue has a lot of tutorials. And that's the start of TTYD. Familiar but new concepts that slowly edge you into the world and story, while giving you the basic tools for the gameplay that you will be getting into. All on your quest to get 7 crystal stars so you can open a door to help and save Princess Peach from the fat guy we fought earlier and his boss. Don't mind the 3 witches or literal army out to get you. One of those witches joins you eventually alongside a nervous Koopa, a wind goddess who needs to really get laid hard, a baby Yoshi that you get to fucking name. I swear that was mind-blowing on the first playthrough. Who else? Alright, a sea salty bomb and a thievius mouse who also needs to get laid. I swear, by the end of the game, all the females want to bang Mario, including the witch who is trans in the Japanese version. I mean, I get why they changed that given this game's release year, but I'm not going to get into that here. Along the way, Mario will get cursed by black boxes that give him useful powers, all in the name of exploration, get upgraded gear from Toadette, listen to Luigi find some meaning in his life, all while Bowser runs around and fails to find Peach but steals a cardboard cutout like a horny toad he is. All while Peach tries to teach a robot to love. No, I'm not kidding. And that is the most basic summary I can give about the story without spoiling too much. All set to really funny dialogue and moments of the fourth wall just getting completely destroyed in spectacular fashion. I know it might seem like a weird place to cut it off, but if I talk any more about the story, then we are going to end up being here all day. So, gameplay. First off, this stuff still holds up, and it is an excellent gateway into JRPGs. The gameplay is split into two main sections, overworld exploration and combat. Starting with the overworld, this is where most things will take place in the game. You explore an area and solve puzzles to progress, with a surprising amount of variety to them, set in some of the most memorable locations in the Mario game. You have Rope Power and the underground tunnels below it, which acts as your hub world to the other worlds. Each world has a few characteristics that they all share, well, except for two. These characteristics are large open areas with some form of town to find, an area for a side fetch quest, and an enemy territory of sorts. You know, places that are loaded with enemies, loot, and of course have a boss monster. Or boss character. It varies from world to world. The two worlds that don't fit into that have their own gimmicks as part of the story that they play around. One is a ranked battle after battle WWE-style fighting arena with corporate espionage thrown into the mix, and the other is a series of whodunit mystery cases in the vein of Murder on the Orient Express. And I mean that literally, because they're on a train. Each world ends in a boss, and for the most part, each boss gives you a crystal star to make your way off to the next. Of course, that isn't the only thing they do, as they give you new abilities as well. However, to get into that, we have to talk about the other half of the gameplay, combat. Combat is started in two ways, non-scripted and scripted events. In non-script cases, the battle starts when you touch an opponent. You can also jump or hit them with your hammer to also start a battle and get a free hit on the start. And you can also use your ally in order to do that as well, or at least some of your allies with their abilities. Of course, foes can do this as well, so you gotta pay attention in the overworld for that. Scripted events, on the other hand, can start a battle whenever, usually after dialogue. Most scripted events won't have a chance to get in some free licks, and a lot of them are set up so you can't run away from the fight. Battles are turn-based, of course. First, Mario and whatever partner you have out can both attack, and then whatever you're fighting attacks. Each character, including your opponent, are able to perform one action per turn. Mario has 5 actions to choose from: jump, hammer, special, items, and tactics. 3 attacks, 2 management. Partners have a single attack section as well as items and tactic sections. Each attack section has a standard attack and more powerful attacks that you can unlock either by getting better hammers or boots, or by finding badges, which can give you a new attack or passive bonuses. Each badge has a cost or badge point, though, and needs to be managed outside of battles. Furthermore, anything outside of the standard attack costs flower points, or FP. Everyone also has health points or HP to keep an eye on as well. Mario's special attacks, however, are unlocked by collecting crystal stars. Each one costs an amount of star power, or SPR, in order to perform, and usually have a minigame aspect or use them to full effect. Each attack has an action tied to it. For instance, if you jump on a foe and time your jump correctly, you will do a double jump instead. Or in the case of the hammer, it's pulling the stick to the side and letting go at the right time. Doing moves correctly will bring in a bigger crowd to your battle, which is set on a literal stage. Excite the crowd, which fills the gauges that give you SPR, and also gives a card for the bingo minigame in battles. Items can be bought or earned/found in the overworld, or thrown by the crowd mid-battle. They are one-time use and have a variety of effects, from boss and health gauges to damage output and temporary downgrades for use in non-boss characters. And when it comes to that crowd, you also have to pay attention, because sometimes they will throw items at you that will hurt you, and you can also counterattack them in the effect that happens, so keep your eyes open. Finally, we have the tactics menu, where you can defend and take one less damage, switch partners, appeal to the crowd to get a massive SPR boost, and if all else fails, run away to fight another day, if the game will let you at all, that is. You can also time a guard or a counter attack with a well-timed button press during your opponent's attack, which will also net you SPR and sometimes reduce the amount of damage you are taking from your opponent, even turning damage on them in the case of a counter attack. The goal of any battle is to drain your opponent's HP to 0. So here's what a typical battle might entail. Say Mario has his Koopa friend Koops, and they are fighting one Goomba, a Spiny Goomba, and 2 red Koopa Troopas. Goombas have 2 health each, so Mario goes for a jump. He can't jump on the Spiny Goomba though, because it has a spike on its head. So Mario jumps on the normal Goomba instead. Right when he lands on the Goomba, the A button is pressed, triggering the right timing, so Mario bounces off and then lands on the Goomba again. The Goomba goes poof, Mario has netted some SPR, and is given an FP bingo card. Turn order now goes over to Koops, who attacks from the side. So he goes after the Spiny Goomba, timing his spin launch to line up with a red indicator light, thus pulling off the move properly, doing full damage, netting more SPR, killing the tiny Goomba, and getting a matching bingo card. Now, the player's turn is over and the opponent AI kicks in on the remaining Koopas. Both choose to go for an attack one at a time, both aim for Mario, and while he is able to press A to guard the first attack, he misses the very precise timing for B press counterattack on the second Koopa Troopa being dealt damage. And now it's the player's turn again. Mario goes for a multi-bounce move, which uses some of the FP that is stockpiled. Mario jumps on the first Koopa, knocking it onto its back, and times an A press correctly. This time though, instead of hitting the Koopa again, he moves over to the next Koopa Troopa and also knocks him onto his back. While this doesn't deal any damage, this now leaves both Troopas wide open with no HP defenses, which normally they have a defense of 1 while in their standing positions. This also triggers the bingo, as the player has 2 matching FP cards and was able to pull off a successful attack action. In order to win this bingo minigame, Mario has to press the A button with proper timing to get a 3rd Flower Point card, which he misses getting a Shine Bright card instead. So no bingo, but it's still the player's turn, and it's up to Koops to finish off the Troopas, deciding to do so using a Fire Flower from the item menu. Again, a typical battle. You can also end up with other things happening mid-battle too. Like the crowd gifting you items or throwing junk if they get pissed off, which you can counter as a free action. Shy Guys will sometimes hop on the stage and run to the backs to drop damaging buckets on you or your opponent's heads. Heck, you even have ghosts fly on the stage and pass through characters, making them immune to attacks. Once you get a hang of the battle system, though, you'll be having a blast. Each win will net you star points. Collect 100 to level up, in which case you could choose to up your HP or FP by 5, or you can increase the number of badge points you have by 3, so you can use more badges in battle. Oh, and to explain badges a little bit better, you can find them in the overworld, give you new moves or status effects in battles. Each one will have a cost, so there's some menu management, and they do things from like giving you a new attack that's more powerful but costs FP, to things like, oh yeah, here's a little bit of additional health, or you'll slowly regain health over time, stuff like that. Personally, I think this battle system works really well, and while I make it sound complex here, it really isn't, and by the time you're done with the game's tutorials on the matter, you will have everything you'll need to take on the world by the horns. It's also one of the simpler battle systems in a JRPG, which is why I say that this game is a great segue into that genre for people who have never played one before. And that just loops back to this game being charming and memorable, and I think our next section helps bring home that point. Holy shit, the music in this game is fan-fucking-tastic. Like my other game reviews, I have been using it all throughout this video, and I want to use it in other videos as well. Hell, plenty of YouTubers I watch use this game soundtrack as backing in skits, reviews for other games, and just general YouTube weirdness. To say the music is iconic is an understatement. You feel excited when you hear that battle theme. You can feel the curiosity or intrigue in some of the world's themes, or the straight-up terror of some of the others, especially the Black Box theme. Very few games can make my emotions run the whole gambit in their playtime. This game is one of them, and the music is a huge part of that, and leads into the overall impact left behind this game. Speaking of which, this game's life cycle after it was released has been amazing. Not only is it loved by most people who have played it, but the critics loved it too. Most websites today will go over the best titles on the GameCube, stating that this is easily in the top 5, and most just stick it on the damn top. Not all of them, because Melee and Twilight Princess are also a thing, but this is easily the top Mario-centric game on the GameCube. The people who play this, like me, keep on coming back to it because it had a lasting effect on us. And if you think that the game is wild just how it is, then your brain will melt when it comes to the speedruns of this game. Yes, there is a TTYD speedrunning community. It is insane how a 2-hour ride with glitches galore. And remember, this game is 12 plus hours long if you're reading all the dialogue and don't know what to do without a game guide. Even if you frame perfect skip all the text, it's still a whopping 6 hours of pure gameplay glitchless among the top runners. When is the last time you heard someone speedrunning a JRPG that's actually having a competition in the matter? Your game has to be good if people give dedication like that. Hell, there's also the whole TTYD randomizer mod scene as well, which goes anywhere from getting random items to loading random rooms, or even giving you random badges in order to fight through a normal game. My point is this, Paper Mario TTYD did something right to connect with people, and that is what's important here. People keep begging Nintendo to remake it because not only do they want to return to it, but they think it deserves it. And out of everything on the GameCube that deserves a remake, I would agree that TTYD is the best choice. Unfortunately, Nintendo decided that the next outing for Paper Mario was going to be a bit more experimental. And while I enjoyed Super Paper Mario, that's a video for another day, and everything Sticker Star onwards has been a shadowy insult to where we started. At least in the gameplay department. But again, those are videos for another day. And so with that, I would like to return to my 30-second elevator pitch to why I want to remake TTYD. Because this game is fun, engaging, memorable, and would be really, really easy to pull off. The fans would love you for it, and I would give the game a second life it deserves off the shelf. And you guys can help make it happen. Nintendo has said if they get enough fan outcry about it, they will do it. So hop on social media and give Nintendo the reasons why you want to see this game remade. You can use the hashtag #Remaster1000YearDoor. That's hashtag #Remaster1000YearDoor. That was started by Arlo a ways back. I know it's been a while, especially seeing how this is taking even longer than I thought it would in order to get out. Damn firewalls. But it is still an active hashtag, so please go ahead and get it rolling once more, and someone is bound to notice. In the meantime, I'll be grateful that I still have my copy of the game and go for another run through it. Paper Mario 1000 Year Door scores a 5 out of 5. And as I say when it comes to that score, the game is by no means perfect, but it gets pretty damn close. And those are my thoughts on Paper Mario TTYD. What about you guys? What do you think about this game in this review? Leave your comments down below. Feel free to leave suggestions to how the hell I could get out of this mess. Ah, shit! Assholes. Anyways, like and subscribe. Feel free to support my Patreons if you want to go... if you want. And go follow me on Twitter, where I'll be posting updates to this hacker problem when I can. Just have your decryptors ready. And I know, the Sonic trailer's redone. I have thoughts on it. I know I'm late to that party. Kappa can go suck some. I'll talk all about that stuff soon. In fact, I think I'll probably be doing another video relatively shortly talking about all the things that I missed. Again, Sonic, Kappa, a bunch of the other weird things that are going on related to the alternate reality game scene here on YouTube. Seriously, Dad, what the fuck? And yeah, we have a lot in order to do. I've been able to get past this firewall before, and I can do it again. Now then, if you excuse me, I have a Taragon to find. Dexter? Dexter!